What if I told you that your bad habits are a gold mine for someone else? Whether you've been watching our videos or you've just found our channel, I believe that this might be the most important video to date. Watch the entire video so that you can learn how to take responsibility for you and your family's health once and for all. Imagine a world where the very things you consume daily are silently working against you. Your food, water, medicine, even the air you breathe. The truth is, this isn't just a dystopian fantasy, it's our reality. In this video, we'll expose the web of corruption and profit that keeps you unhealthy and dependent on systems designed to fail you. From the food industry to the medical establishment, we'll unravel how your bad habits, encouraged by these industries, are making them billions at the expense of your health. But stick around, because by the end, you'll have the knowledge to take back control of your well-being. The food industry is a behemoth, with billions of dollars at stake. But here's the catch. The very foods that line your grocery store shelves, often the most affordable and convenient, are the ones most likely to harm you. Ultra-processed foods, laden with sugars, unhealthy fats, and artificial additives, are linked to a myriad of health issues: obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. Consider this. Companies like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Nestle rake in billions by selling products known to contribute to these illnesses. Yet, in a twisted irony, these same companies often donate to health organizations and cancer research. It's a public relations tactic, a way to maintain a clean image while continuing to sell products that contribute to the very problems they claim to want to solve. But the deception runs deeper. Genetically modified organisms, GMOs, often heralded as the future of food security, have long been a contentious issue. Studies have shown potential links between GMO foods and health risks, yet these products flood the market with the approval of regulatory bodies like the FDA. And why? Because these regulatory bodies are often funded by the very companies they are supposed to regulate. GMOs are engineered to resist pests and tolerate herbicides, making them easier to grow on a large scale. However, this genetic manipulation doesn't come without risks. Some studies have suggested that GMO foods may be linked to allergies, antibiotic resistance, and even cancer. Despite these concerns, the FDA has consistently approved GMO crops for consumption, often relying on studies funded by the very companies that produce these crops. Monsanto, now owned by Bayer, is one of the largest producers of GMO seeds. Their influence on regulatory bodies is well documented, with numerous cases of revolving doors between Monsanto executives and FDA officials. Another alarming issue is the use of forever chemicals in food packaging. These man-made chemicals, also known as PFAS, per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances, are used to make products resistant to grease, water, and stains. They're found in everything from non-stick cookware to fast food wrappers. The problem? PFAS don't break down in the environment or the human body, leading to accumulation over time. These chemicals have been linked to cancer, hormone disruption, and immune system damage. Yet despite growing evidence of their harm, the FDA continues to allow their use in food packaging. Now let's shift our focus to the medical industry. The same corporations that profit from making you sick also stand to gain from treating your illnesses. This creates a vicious cycle where sickness is more profitable than health. Take chemotherapy, for example. It's one of the most common treatments for cancer, yet it's also one of the most profitable. Hospitals and pharmaceutical companies make billions from chemotherapy drugs, despite the fact that many natural remedies and alternative treatments exist that are either dismissed or outright ignored. The reason is simple. There's no profit in a cure. The industry thrives on prolonged treatment, not prevention. Chemotherapy is often presented as the best, if not the only option for cancer treatment. Yet, it's well known that chemotherapy is a toxic treatment that can cause significant side effects, including damage to healthy cells. The harsh reality is that chemotherapy success rates are not as high as many are led to believe, especially for certain types of cancer. Despite this, alternative treatments like high-dose vitamin C, medicinal mushrooms, or the ketogenic diet, which have shown promise in cancer treatment, are often labeled as quackery by the mainstream medical establishment. Why? Because these treatments can't be patented and thus aren't as profitable. The pharmaceutical industry wields enormous influence over the medical field. From funding medical research to sponsoring continuing education for doctors, Big Pharma's reach is extensive. This influence often leads to the promotion of drugs that may not be the most effective or safest options available. For example, opioids were aggressively marketed as a solution for chronic pain, leading to an epidemic of addiction and overdose deaths. The companies responsible, like Purdue Pharma, made billions before the full extent of the crisis became apparent, and even then, their accountability was minimal compared to the damage caused. The FDA's relationship with Big Pharma is just one example of a much larger problem. Regulatory bodies across various industries are often compromised by financial ties to the companies they oversee. This is evident in the revolving door between government agencies and private industry, where executives from companies like Monsanto or Pfizer move seamlessly into regulatory roles and vice versa. This conflict of interest isn't just unethical, it's dangerous. It leads to the approval of products and practices that may harm public health, all in the name of profit. For instance, the FDA's approval of certain forever chemicals, man-made substances that don't break down in the environment, despite their known links to cancer and other diseases, shows just how deep this corruption runs. The revolving door between industry and regulatory agencies creates a situation where the lines between public service and private profit are blurred. For example, Michael Taylor, a former vice president at Monsanto, later became the deputy commissioner for foods at the FDA. This dual role raises serious concerns about whether regulatory decisions are made in the public's best interest or in favor of corporate profits. If you're finding this video helpful, just hit the like button to help someone else discover this valuable bit of information. It goes a long way in supporting our work. The FDA's funding structure also poses a significant conflict of interest. A substantial portion of the FDA's budget comes from user fees paid by pharmaceutical companies seeking drug approval. This creates a situation where the FDA is financially dependent on the very companies it's supposed to regulate. Critics argue that this reliance on industry funding undermines the FDA's ability to act as an impartial watchdog. Another layer of deception lies in corporate philanthropy. Companies that sell products causing cancer, like tobacco giants or processed food manufacturers, often donate to cancer research. It's a paradoxical situation where the very entities contributing to the problem are also funding the search for a solution. But why? This strategy serves multiple purposes. First, it deflects criticism and maintains a positive public image. Second, it ensures that the research focuses on treatments rather than prevention or alternative therapies. After all, a cure that doesn't involve expensive drugs or procedures wouldn't be profitable. Consider this. Philip Morris, a leading tobacco company, has donated millions to cancer research. At first glance, this seems like a noble gesture. But when you consider that smoking is a leading cause of cancer, the donation begins to look more like a PR strategy than genuine concern for public health. Similarly, fast food companies like McDonald's fund health initiatives while continuing to sell products high in fat, sugar, and sodium, ingredients known to contribute to heart disease and obesity. By funding research, these corporations can also steer the conversation away from prevention and toward treatment. For example, instead of focusing on how diet and lifestyle changes can prevent cancer, much of the research funded by these corporations focuses on developing new drugs or treatments. This approach ensures that the public remains dependent on the medical system for solutions rather than making lifestyle changes that could eliminate the need for such treatments in the first place. The media, often seen as the watchdog of society, plays a significant role in maintaining the status quo. Major news outlets are frequently funded by advertising dollars from the same corporations that profit from the public's ill health. This financial relationship creates a conflict of interest where negative stories about these industries are underreported or spun in a way that minimizes their impact. Have you ever noticed how rarely mainstream media covers the dangers of GMOs, the risks of certain pharmaceutical drugs, or the corruption within regulatory bodies? This isn't an accident. Media outlets that rely on advertising revenue from food, pharmaceutical, and chemical companies are less likely to air stories that could harm their advertisers' bottom line. As a result, the public remains uninformed about the true risks associated with these products and practices. Beyond censorship, the media also plays a role in shaping public opinion. Through selective reporting and framing, media outlets can make certain practices or products seem safer or more beneficial than they are. For example, the benefits of GMOs are often highlighted, while the potential risks are downplayed or ignored. Similarly, pharmaceutical drugs are frequently portrayed as miracle cures, with little mention of their side effects or the availability of natural alternatives. Now that we've uncovered this web of corruption, the question remains, what can you do? The first step is to take control of your health. Don't trust the government, regulatory bodies, or even mainstream healthcare professionals blindly. They often have their own agendas, and your health may not be their top priority. Start by changing your diet. Cut out ultra-processed foods and focus on whole organic options. Consider growing your own vegetables or buying from local farmers who use sustainable practices. Avoid GMOs by looking for products labeled non-GMO or organic. And remember, the fewer ingredients on the label, the better. Water is another critical area. Tap water, even when treated, often contains harmful chemicals like fluoride, chlorine, and even traces of pharmaceuticals. Opt for natural spring water like Fiji or other reputable brands that comes from a protected source. Installing a high-quality water filter at home is another great option to ensure you're drinking the purest water possible. When it comes to medicine, explore natural remedies and alternative treatments. Herbs, essential oils, and other traditional practices have been used for centuries with great success. Do your research and consult with holistic health practitioners who prioritize your well-being over profits. Regular exercise is another crucial aspect of maintaining good health. It helps to detoxify the body, boosts the immune system, and reduces the risk of chronic diseases. Additionally, prioritize mental wellness by reducing stress and spending time with loved ones. A balanced lifestyle is your best defense against the diseases of modern life. Knowledge is power. The industries we've discussed today thrive on ignorance and dependence. By educating yourself, making informed choices, and refusing to support companies and practices that harm your health, you can break free from their grip. It's not easy, and it requires diligence, but your health and the health of future generations depend on it. Remember, your health is your most valuable asset. Don't entrust it to those who profit from your sickness. Take control, make informed decisions, and live a life that's not just longer, but healthier and more fulfilling. One thing I'll ask you to do before you go, please like and share this with as many people as you can while this video is still up. It will cause the algorithm to promote it more so that others can be alerted to all that is happening. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.